6,500 subscribers, 50,000 listens.
And what episode are we on?
21.
And we are in Barcelona live.
At the Growers Conference.
Yes, excellent. And we have got Pete from Highlight Horticulture.
Hi, good to see you.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And you?
Good stuff. I'm okay. How are you, Thomas?
I'm very well indeed. Just enjoying the atmosphere and the environment, being in our favourite place. Unfortunately, not sunny Spain today. It's absolutely lashing it down.
It was lashing it down yesterday. The landing was a bit horrific, to say the least. How was your flight, Peter?
Mine was fine. We were drinking a lot.
Yeah.
We were drinking lots. It lasted about 2 seconds, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, the flight coming in.
The flight, yeah. Just there and
Okay, well, let's move on anyway. Pete, how's the Growers Show going for you anyway?
It's going very well. We've had a few interests in some of the new products we've got here.
Okay. What products have you got with you today at the show?
We've got Gorilla filters, Gorilla fans, and a new Gorilla tent that we've had made to our specifications.
Well, the reason I said that, because in front of me, I'm looking at this brand new, all black, looks very sleek, stylish
it looks
filter.
very nice,
yeah, and it's a Gorilla filter, is that
It's
correct?
a Gorilla filter, yeah.
Okay, and that's now the new product from yourselves, and that goes with the original product that we had of the Gorilla box fan?
That's correct, yes. So they match the box fans, made out of Australian carbon.
Okay, so let's get straight to the chase. Filters. What would you recommend for the lifespan of one of your, say, a 10-inch filter?
I would say that we always go for about 2/3 of what the manufacturer says. So we're looking at 12 months, realistically. And where the manufacturers say 18 months, we always like to put that bit of buffer in, just in case.
Yeah. So if the manufacturer says 18 months, we'd be happy to say they're good for a year.
We would say 12 months, yes, on that, yeah.
What's the weight like on the filters? Are they average or lighter
They're
or
average
heavier?
weight. They're not a pelletized carbon. They're a chipped carbon, so the same weight as most of the chipped carbon products.
Well, the thing is with filters, everyone thinks, you know, if it hasn't got a fancy branding, which this one has, it's got a nice branding on it, to be honest. And the sleeve is a nice quality fabric. Does that sleeve, will that contain a lot of dust? Will that hold a lot of dust in it?
It should hold as much dust as a normal one would, because it's slightly more compact, but it doesn't affect the airflow particularly.
Okay, and would we say this is a mid-range brand, the top of the range brand?
We'd say mid-range brand.
And is it good pricing with it for the customer?
Yes, it is very good pricing, and it is in that mid-range price.
Well, I'm sure I'm going to work a hell of a deal out to these guys for my customers. I'll make sure I kick them all well and truly in the bollocks so that you, my customers, get the best deals available at our store, NPK Technology.
I hear where you're coming from.
We'll have a few on display in the new shop as well, so if you can make it down to the new shop, get down, you can come and see the Gorilla filters all for yourself and see how they actually work in a real life situation.
In fact, you know what I'm going to do? What I always do, I always like to rope my suppliers in. So, seeing we're at a growers conference and we have some of these filters, I'm sure Peter wouldn't mind giving away something in a competition.
I think that'd be great.
As long as it fits in your suitcase for the way back home, that'll be fine.
So, yeah, Steve, you're putting something in for your suitcase on the way home.
I've just managed to get rid of loads of magazines that I brought over with me, so I think there's plenty of space for a nice big 12-inch filter in there. Yeah. And that'd sit with the customs officers. Yeah. Next up is the HP4S. Now, when we arrived at the Highlight stand, Peter seemed very, very excited about this new piece of kit, because I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, it's the first LED to have 100-watt LEDs.
Yes, that's correct. It's an American manufacturing firm that have produced a phosphorus-based 100-watt LED that is supposed to match the sun spectrum exactly, or as close as they can get. Not exactly, but as close as they can get with fluctuations.
Yeah. Okay, so let's put this in layman's terms. I'm average Joe, just come in your shop, and there's this, it appears to be a triangle looking Dalek light shaped thing, very unique, with a big hanger hook on the top of it, and it contains, what light is it? It's an LED light?
It's an LED light, but it's based on phosphorus, so it's a white light.
Right.
So it appears white to our eyes, but it is a mixed spectrum light.
So is this for flowering, this light?
This is for flowering, growing and flowering all the way through, so it's
Okay.
as if it was the sun.
Okay.
Could it be compared to the LEPs, the light-emitting plasmas? Is it similar to that sort of product?
They're trying to get a similar spectrum, but apparently on the LEDs, they can get more of a far red than on the plasmas, so that the end process, the ripening at the end, is better.
Okay.
For the listeners that aren't really up to date on the photosynthesis, we talk about light in the different types of colours. So at one end of the spectrum you'll have your blues, and at the other end of the spectrum you're going to have your reds, your far reds, and your ultraviolets. Ultraviolets are the blue, infrared at the just after far red, and then these plants pick up the different types of photosynthesis and use them for different stages of growth. So what we're saying here is the white LED is producing what appears to be a white light, but actually covers a full spectrum and a bit more red at the end as well.
That's great. So we're trying to match the sort of end of summer, beginning of autumn light, so that the lights actually turn, so it has more far red in it as it goes over into its winter cycle, the sun goes into its winter cycle.
When can we expect some testing on these to commence?
We'll be testing them in the next couple of weeks, but we'll at least do 3 months testing on them before we know how they actually work.
I'm sure we'll get one for free so we can test it as well in our superstore.
And that might be a bit of a stretch. I think he said we've only got 4, but they know we do quality testing, so if they want to
we are sending them out for testing. Yeah.
If they've got 4, we only want 1.
Oh,
so that leaves 3.
3? That's a good shout.
We are sending them out for testing. They do a blue spectrum one as well, so they do one specifically for grow, which doesn't have as much.
Only thing with
in.
LED can be quite costly. Are they going to be affordable, these lights?
No, they're not really.
Okay.
no, not
simple
at the moment.
Answer, no, we've got these lights, but you can't afford them.
Unfortunately, they are a new product that are just developed, so we have really the prototypes.
Okay.
So the prototype's always going to be expensive, but as we are looking at them so that if it does actually work and the technology works, the price will come down, but then we should already have some sort of distribution set up on board.
So if you're the type of person that when a 60-inch plasma, 4G, HD, 3D, whatever the big LED televisions are now, if you love to go out and get them for the top-notch prices because you love the top-notch technology, then this is probably a technology for you. If you like to hold out for a few months and see what the technology's saying, then you're going to wait for 2 or 3 months, see what the tests are saying, and then maybe look at investing in one of these in the future.
That's right. We have to invest in them when they're quite young technology, so that we know whether they'll work or not.
Or you can just wait for us to get our free one that we're going to get and put it in our suitcase, and we'll let you know and pop in store and come and have a look at one in our store.
But
yeah, so looking forward to your comprehensive testing regime being applied to our LED.
When Peter gets excited about a product, though, you know it's going to be a very good product. So the signs are good for the HP4S solid state sun spectrum LED.
Okay, cool, excellent.
I'm sure well, now that we've got Peter for the next 2 days, I think we'd like to dip in and out of Peter's brain because he has a wealth of knowledge in there over a vast amount of subjects. So if it's okay with Peter, we're going to end it there for now, but we'd love to speak to you again later in the day or tomorrow.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thanks very much, Peter, and have a lovely show.
We'll be back in a few minutes. Speak to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.
At NPK Technology in Liverpool, we pride ourselves on providing you with the products you need at the right price. Once more, if the products you want aren't in stock, we'll order them in for you. And if you don't know exactly what you're looking for, we'll happily point you in the right direction. NPK Technology Liverpool, going out of our way to help you grow. Visit www.mpktechnology.co.uk.
Life is good.